By the narrowest of margins, 1 car length, Harvick continues to stalk the race leader.
Yeah, these first 3 cars here, the 18, the 29, and the 55, running real equal lap times. Harvick might be a tad quicker than the 18 of Busch.
Guys, when you look at our top 9 drivers right now, from Kyle Busch all the way back to Jeff Gordon, remember they all stayed out on that last caution. About another 25 laps, they'll have to make a green flag pit stop should we not get that caution.
Top 3 all under a blanket. Brad Keselowski is 3.2 seconds back with Hamlin on his bumper.
Hey, watch this.
For the lead, Harvick looks inside and is denied at turn 3.
Boy, while those guys are going at it, look at Mark Martin in that 55 car. He's just slowly but surely reeling them in.
There, he's sitting there lurking right now.
He truly is.
Mark's liking what he's seeing. I mean, Mark's a smart guy. He's analyzing these 2 guys. He's, y'all go ahead and wear your stuff out.
You know, the amazing thing about Mark Martin, with several races to go in 2011, he really didn't even know if he was going to have a ride for 2012 because he was looking for what Michael Waltrip gave him, an opportunity to run a semi-partial schedule.
Traffic. Harvick to the outside, but Kyle Busch to the inside of the wounded Paul Menard car.
Harvick's a little quicker right now, Mike. He's really stalking the 18 there, trying to figure out and get an opening here. If he does, I think he'll probably blow right by him.
And we know there's no love lost between those 2 drivers right there. A lot of past history with them in all the series.
Good thing it's not late in the race.
Now both on track and off. Oh, Kyle comes almost up into the side of David Stremme's number 30. Harvick goes to the apron and back up for the lead into 3. And Kyle shoves it in there a car length further.
And see, Mark is sitting there waiting for something to happen here. Hopefully nothing bad. He just wants something to happen so he can make his move. Can't pass them both unless they get together.
Larry, if you're Kevin Harvick's crew chief right now, what do you tell him?
Well, I probably just let him do his own deal, but I'm a little bit nervous right now. I think this just goes to show you where our sport's at right now. They know leading laps, getting bonus points, every single point you can get is important for the big picture, and that's making the chase in the championship.
It's rather frustrating to be sitting there like Harvick is, and you see here now he's got a pretty good run alongside of Kyle. Might even do a little side drafting off of him if that's possible. But he'd get a little bit annoyed, and Kyle just overdrove the corner.
That's what that smoke was. That was brake smoke or possibly even sliding the wheel.
He slid the right front a little bit, and that opened the door, and there goes Harvick right by with Mark in hot pursuit. You're going to have to be able to work the bottom. I mean, that's I say that. I said it in practice yesterday. Everybody's going to run the top side, and so you got to be able to get around them on the inside. They give you the whole bottom of the racetrack. You got to be able to use that.
Here comes Vickers. Whoa! He and Truex tied tight together. Michael Waltrip, you own both those 55 and 56 cars. How nervous does this make you?
I just want them not to run into each other, guys. We saw at the end of Vegas where the Roush cars got together, and this is a little bit tense right now.
Well, Vickers in the 55 has cleared Truex in the 56. Brian Vickers is wanting to go up there and try to lead this race.
And here comes Junior.
Yeah, look at Junior. He's got that high line getting around on that.
3 wide. Burton on the inside, Junior on the outside, and they send Martin Truex back to 5th place.
Well, they ought to all thank Bobby Labonte. Right now, that's opening the door for Brian Vickers. He's going to take the lead right here.
It's like he gets off turn 2 a little bit better than A.J. Allmendinger. Here they go back. Vickers back to the bottom through 3 and 4.
Look what a gap he can pull through the center of the corner. Now he's got the lead, and he's got a car that can run the bottom, and that's just so critical.
And it's been how long since he drove in a Sprint Cup race?
Well, it's been a while, but you know the other thing I worry about for him is stamina. When you haven't been in a car for a while, buddy, this place can suck it out of you.
It's on for the lead in Martinsville. Jimmy Johnson has been massaging the left rear corner of Denny Hamlin's car in the middle of the corner, but Hamlin in that 11 has just had superior drive off the corner, and he has been able to hold on to the lead with Johnson and Gordon looking on.
Going to have to dive bomb him. You're just going to have to drive it down in here, going into turn 1 right here. Stick it down in there and drive it up in there. Maybe move him up just a skosh. That's what it's going to take.
But you're right, Mike. Right there. That's where Denny Hamlin's so strong when he gets back that throttle. I believe he'll get him here, though.
Jimmy's got to do it soon because there's traffic ahead. Right now, it's clear racetrack. Jeff Gordon wants to follow Johnson through on the inside.
I tell you, though, Hamlin has done a good job. He's given Jimmy plenty of room. There you go. Got to move him a little bit. That's what it's going to take.
Jimmy got loose and got bumped by his teammate there.
You're down on that bottom of the 48 car. You just get a little frustrated, get a little irritated, and you say, look, I could put you up into the loose stuff up there and ruin your day.
Side by side, the two drivers who've won 9 of the last 11 Sprint Cup races here.
Well, Mike, you just mentioned it. It's going to get interesting here in about 3 or 4 laps because they're going to catch the back of the field. That's going to really shake things up.
I think that's why Hamlin keeps working that outside, because he figures these guys will drop to the inside and leave the outside open, and he'll be all right. Now, you know, there's some people that would say, oh, I bet they're having fun. Oh, no, they're not.
This is work.
Well, and while those 3 drivers are having fun, Clint Boyer in the 15, he's been reeling this front group in little by little back there in 4th.
I believe Johnson may have done it that time.
Johnson has the lead. Can Gordon follow him through? Did it. Each driver, each crew chief, each team is out there to win, no matter who they're battling for the win.
Well, they're going to get ready. There's going to be a battle. Something's going to have to give between these 2 cars. They're going to have to figure it out.
6 laps to go.
Hello, I'm here. Yoo-hoo.
2 of the best in the business. Gordon looks inside. Johnson gives him just enough room, but gets the drive off the corner and keeps the lead. 5 laps to go.
That's where Jimmy in that 48's been so strong, Darrell, over these last 100 laps off the corner.
Yeah, and he'll give him that inside getting in because he knows he's got that good line coming off. It gives him a good shot off the corner.
And a huge traffic jam ahead of them right there.
All right, now you see
bump.
Now you see Jeff Gordon. What he's trying to do now, he's going to get that run off on the high side and then dive down right here.
Ruderman has 2 flats. He may not make it to the pits. They are side by side for the lead.
This is where Gordon will pack it down into turn 3 right there. I think he'll get him right here.
Starter has the caution in hand. No, that's the passing flag. Ruderman has stopped and we're under yellow.
Caution's out.
And only 33 laps to go. Hamlin down to the bottom.
Here he comes.
Hunting the lead. Truex will hold it off turn 4.
The biggest one, once your car gets loose and you're running that high line particularly, you just can't get the throttle down quick enough to get the momentum that you had off the corner. You have to wait, and you lose that advantage of running high.
Let's have a look at our STP race summary. We've got 32 laps to go. 22 cars on the lead lap. 9 different leaders now. 13 lead changes. 14 may be in the offing here. Only 3 caution flags for 18 laps. Denny Hamlin all over Martin Truex for the lead.
And now with Truex, hadn't had to race anybody all day long. Now what he doesn't want to do is overdrive his race car and make a mistake.
Steve?
Well, Mike, when this run started, Denny Hamlin said, my car is a little bit tight. Gary and Grubb said, it's all right. We made 2 adjustments. It'll come to you. Denny Hamlin just said, I don't need lap times anymore.
Nope, he got a great run, Steve, off turn number 2. He has all but cleared Truex, slides up in front of him, and Hamlin is setting sail for the checkered flag.
You could see right there off the exit of 4 how loose Martin Truex Jr. in that 56 car is getting.
Still, though, Jeff Hammond, the top half dozen cars running almost identical lap times as Carl Edwards.
Yes, they are, Mike. And you guys were talking about what you're seeing from up there, that Carl Edwards is getting out front and Tony running it back down. Talk to Bob Osborne as well as Carl Edwards about that. And they have worked really hard to try to close that gap. They've longevity. The long run has always hurt them. So that's what they're really concerned about in the latter part of this race. Do they have a car that can go a long run?
Tony Stewart has led 5 laps tonight. He's trying to lead this one. He has the inside line on Edwards, who has the drive off the corner. Edwards continues to lead.
Yeah, Tony Stewart in the 14 to me just looks so strong when he picks that throttle up on the exit of the corner.
And with the difference I see, Larry, Tony's doing it easy.
Nice work, friend. Nice work.
Go where you want it to. You drive it more with the throttle than you do with the steering wheel. That's not good. That slows you down.
Well, if they're in good shape, the stopwatch doesn't know it because they're 2/10 slower than Kyle Busch, who's trying to take the lead from Tony Stewart.
And not far behind those two, you see that blue car, Jimmy Johnson in the 48. He wants some action up there.
Let's see, how many races has Kyle Busch won here in the spring?
That would be 3.
In a row.
The top 3 are tied with 3 wins each here. No driver in tonight's race has won 4.
One thing I noticed when we were talking about Carl Edwards, I noticed the left rear. The tire, there was a lot of black rubber on the left rear quarter panel. I don't know if he got some damage there or if the tire is rubbing, but he had a lot of rubber up on the left rear quarter panel.
Off turn 4 and for the lead again, Kyle Busch. Tony Stewart now trying to hold off Jimmy Johnson. But Stewart is just about 2/10 slower than the 2 cars that just passed him.
If Allmendinger will move around a little bit here. They're pretty equal in 1 and 2. If he'll go to the outside on McMurray in 3 and 4, he can catch him up.
3 to go.
Look back there at Allmendinger, though. Look how he's got his head down in there digging, I mean.
3 to go in this go or go home sprint showdown.
Closing. That's the line he has to run to get him.
Dale Jr. out front by 2.2 seconds. The battle is for the last transfer spot, and here it is.
What a run by Jamie McMurray in that 1 car, though. To start at the rear of the field, boy, Allmendinger got a good run then.
He didn't stay on the bottom, and here comes the dinger. They touch.
He got him pushed up off of 2.
They both lost their momentum. Allmendinger inside, and McMurray is going to have to find a way back with a lap and a half to go.
One more time, buddy. Hit your marks here.
Oh,
One more.
McMurray got the wall off 4 that time. These 2 guys are on the absolute ragged edge right now, driving as hard as they can go, like qualifying. But look at this.
Junior.
Look at this. Oh, my gosh. Ah! I didn't think they were going to make it, boys. I'm still not sure they're going to make it.
Hold on, Dinger.
Look at Mark Martin in the 55. He'll make her 3 wide at the bottom.
Yeah, Mark says, hello. I'll just be coming right through here. Thank you very much.
3 by 3 by 3. 9 cars under a blanket.
Still 3 wide.
That can't
Still there,
last.
but nice and easy. Still 3 wide. Clear high.
Casey
Clear high. One
Kane up
inside.
the middle in the 5.
Kurt Busch in that 51 just will not give up.
But let me tell you, this is about the most 3 wide side-by-side racing I've seen maybe all year.
See, Tony Stewart in the 14 came to pit road, got some of that damage fixed, as well as Kevin Harvick in that 29 car.
Well, this is a gaggle back in here, man. It's a little mini wad.
I think Casey Kane was the big winner out of that pack. Earnhardt 2.5 back, Allmendinger 5, Ambrose 6, and Gordon 6 back of the lead.
It's going to be one more dive right here.
Last chance for Kane to grab that front 4 spot for segment 3. And Keselowski hugs the bottom.
But here comes that 5 car off the corner. He's going to get a look under him as they come down here to the line with 1 to go. He got him. He got him.
At the line to complete segment 3, Keselowski.
Yeah.
By inches.
Another close finish.
Has led the most laps, but Casey Kane, battling for the lead, has taken the lead for the 3rd time in this race, and he's not letting it go. Biffle is taking it right with him.
This is amazing racing. We're closing in on the 500-mile mark, and these guys are acting like it's a 500-mile race. They got to get it done. Casey Kane cleared Biffle. Biffle was trying to pass Denny Hamlin, came off turn 2 and hit the wall. There's just been so much action. Look at these guys. They can't get it settled between them.
Well, Greg Biffle has led at the 100-mile mark, the 200, the 300, the the 400-mile mark. We're approaching the 500-mile mark, Michael. I mean, he drives hard all night, all day, all but with an extra 100 miles in this race, the longest race that NASCAR runs. Is that not a good thing for Biffle?
I don't know, Chris. I know he knows everything that car has in it. He was driving as hard as he could when Casey Kane caught him, so he couldn't go any harder. He had to tell his crew chief to work on it. Adjust it for me. Give me something to work with.
Kyle said Joey Logano. Wally, you said Mark Martin running 1-2. I mean, you guys are sharp.
What can I say?
But I'm going to tell you, I'll be the first to laugh if something doesn't go right. At you two. Not at Mark and Joey, but at you two. I promise you.
This is about Mark and Joey. This is not about Wally and myself.
No doubt.
But we are good.
Well, I was just going to say, it's hard enough to spend 6 weeks with you guys, especially when you're right.
But you know what? Larry had some good stuff to say about.
Oh, Mark jumped the bobble a little bit. That's stuff that Mark can't do.
That's what he can't do. Here comes Joey.
He might have enough run on him here.
Mark's there.
Oh.
4 to go.
Logano to the inside for the race lead. 4 laps remaining into turn 1.
No, it's the kind of thing you can't do. I'm telling you, one little mistake on each one of these guys. Oh, he is all under Mark Martin.
He got him
sideways.
Martin sideways off the corner. Here comes Joey Logano for the race lead.
Anyway, we're not done yet. I don't think Mark's going to appreciate that too much.
No, but I truly believe that once Joey's in front, I do believe this. Joey checked out on him a minute ago because Joey can roll so much better through the center of the corner.
Junior will see on track. And the leaders are in traffic.
Oh, nicely done.
Kinsa to the outside of Ken.
Oh, look how sideways he is. That was cool.
Man, that was good. Kinsa unhappy there? Is that what you read into that?
Hey, that was a good move on Ambrose's part.
When Matt went to the outside, obviously Ambrose thought his car would stick, and it did stick until he started up off the corner and had just enough of that shove in it. And I think some of these guys that were complaining early on about the cars being a little bit tight, maybe they didn't adjust the first couple of times. We see the 48 car here. We see the 11 car that is almost out of our picture, and we've not really seen him. You know, he's kind of hovered right there and forth. So I think these are big pit stops at this time to show us who's going to be in the mix for the rest of the night.
And as Jimmy Johnson works the inside of Kyle Busch, a sign the track is cooling down. Denny Hamlin just ran his fastest lap of the night.
Yeah, and while these guys are running side by side, Denny Hamlin's about 2 miles per hour quicker a lap. So he's looking up in the mirror and he's loving this because as long as they're side by side, he's going to just keep stretching that lead.
Hamlin 2 wins this year. The most recent at Kansas, 1.5 miles flat, much like what you see here at Kentucky, and he needs a good run because back-to-back DNFs the last couple of weeks. Michigan and last week at Sonoma.
Not giving up. Got him cleared. Well, that's a hard thing to do, right? Is make that kind of a pass on the inside.
Let's go to Ralph.
Watch Casey Kane going down into turns 1 and 2. He is just eating Martin Truex up going down to that corner. Watch how he gets a big arc into the turn and dives to the inside. He's been super fast down there, almost had him on the last lap. Looks like it's going to take another lap or so, but he's working that bottom groove, and the 5 is on his way, trying to get inside the top 5 of the closing stages.
Yeah, Casey's been one of the fastest cars looking at the lap times. He's been one of the fastest cars. Now he's going to go on the high side. The 56 car is holding him up. I mean, if he can clear him, he'll start running even faster. It's just a lot of track position between him and Keselowski. There's about 4 seconds. But Casey's got a really good car right now.
Yeah, it's just, you know, the 56 car is everywhere that Casey wants to be right now. It's good run right there. Picked up the throttle good. You know, but the thing is, Casey's been running high through 3 and 4. But if he can run low through 3 and 4, that kind of takes away Truex's groove where Truex had been.
Casey Kane trying to grab the final spot inside the top 5. Truex is 5th right now. Kane can't make it stick off the corner.
Yeah, but he's got a little bit better position on Truex now going into 1 and 2. So I think he might be able to pull it off here.
He just couldn't get in that corner the way he wanted to. He had to work the throttle to get that thing in. And you saw it just bounce up the racetrack. Now he loses that position.
Get it back. Stay hungry here.
Falls back in line.
Kane has not been inside the top 5 this season since he went to victory lane at Charlotte. in the Coke 600.
Now he's got him where he wants him if he can stay on the high side.
Yeah.
This will help him down in 1 and 2.
There you got a good run on Truex.
You got the run still in there.
That's it. And
You are
Truex,
clear.
And still a long way to go in this race, but Carl does have a fast car, and he was just wanting to know, too, do I need to ease up on the brake just a little bit? But he came here to charge to the front, and you got to use some brake to do that.
The pole sitter, Kurt Busch, Juan Pablo Montoya, 42, and Kurt Busch, who was leading during the cycle of pit stops a minute ago. You see Mark Martin in. Remember, we've got people on all kind of different pit stop cycles here.
Yeah, that was a scheduled stop for Mark Martin. It's a good battle going on, though, with Montoya and Kurt Busch.
I'm really impressed with Kurt Busch here today. He's taking this car. He said that's one of the newer cars they have from Hendrick Motorsports that they're kind of getting to know and make some changes with. He's done a really good job, and certainly a welcome sight for Montoya, too, to be running competitive here.
Here comes Marcos Ambrose in the 9, back up to make it a three-way fight.
Yeah, I can see Keselowski getting loose right there on that left-hander.
Oh, speaking of loose. Little
See if he tries to outbrake him right here, though. Ambrose is great at this. Oh, little wheel hop.
Tight squeeze.
Kyle Busch is loving what he's seeing there. Oh, Ambrose not able to take it. Keselowski slips a little.
This is going to get out of hand quick.
There wasn't much doubt what was going to happen right there if he could make it through the corner.
Clear behind him.
And he does.
There you go.
Coming to the white flag.
I'll tell you, the two cars closed that gap.
I don't know if he's bad or if he thinks he might have a flat tire or something like that. He's really moving the car around. It doesn't look very stable right now.
1 lap to go. Kyle Busch, defensive line into turn 1.
There's something wrong with the 18.
Now Ambrose trying to get second from Keselowski while he tries to get the lead from Kyle. Contact in the S's.
It's right. Got it.
Dangerous spot on the track for Kyle to be sideways. Looks like he gets off to the guardrail. No caution yet. Here's the race for the lead.
Keselowski's got damage on the left front.
Is the tire going to make it all the way around? And will the 9 help him?
Oh,
everybody's in the grass.
Oh, you're clear. Dig.
That might have been the race right there. We'll see. No, Keselowski's slower. Keselowski's got a problem. Trying to stay with Ambrose. 2 final corners. Do they use the bumpers? A nudge, a push. Can Ambrose save it? To the checkered flag. Who gets here first?
Clear.
Ambrose 9, Keselowski 2. Final corner. Marcos Ambrose is going to win at Watkins Glen in a remarkable last lap turn of events. Greg Biffle, 16. Sam Hornish Jr., 22. 8th and 9th spots there. And ahead of them, 2 and 48, Keselowski and Johnson. That's for 6th. We heard on NASCAR Countdown earlier, a pair of drivers a lot of folks think will race for the championship through the 10 races in the chase. That little arrow thing again there.
Yeah, you can see Biffle there taking advantage of that. Looked like Jimmy Johnson thought that the 2 was going to come up, maybe get into him. Gave a little bit more room. That allowed, here comes Sam Hornish to the bottom. Really impressed what Sam Hornish was doing. Danny was pointing out. You know, he had no practice in this car. He was here a few weeks ago in that test, as they did a tire test.
Biffle and Keselowski just bouncing off each other there.
Look at Sam take this 2 spots getting in the corner. Can he hold it down? Job. Can he hold on to it?
Yeah, he might give those spots back.
Whoa. It's like his teammate gave him a break. Yeah, I was just wondering about him getting up under his bumper there off the corner with him already loose, but Sam was able to hold on. Trying it again.
Yeah, Sam's car worked really good on the bottom, but it cost him a little bit of momentum as he hit the straightaway.
Jimmy Johnson restarted third. He's sliding back here on this restart.
I think it takes Johnson's car a little bit to come in too, but when it does, he's one of the fastest cars on the racetrack late in the run.
I don't think we've called Jamie McMurray's number yet today, except on a green flag pit stop. There's the one car trying to find his way into the top 10.
Calling his number now. He's getting ready to be 3 wide in the middle.
Yep.
It's like he's going to back off a little.
Yeah, Gordon's back up to speed a little bit, trying to push Marcus Ambrose.
Remember that pattern for late in the race if you get a late caution. Jeff and that team will definitely be hoping for a long green run at the end of this thing.
Hey, this is going to be a fight. I think that 48 car is definitely better than the 2, but at that aero thing, that they don't have a lot of room to race here, and I think it could be the difference.
Yeah, Johnson's going to have to make this pass on the inside. Does he have enough down force and side force on that getting to the inside to make the pass on Brad Keselowski?
If you like your numbers, championship leader coming into this race has won it the last 2 years. .94.9 mile-an-hour lap last time for Brad Keselowski. With Jimmy Johnson right there.
Yeah, they've really ramped it up. First time down under the 37-second bracket that we've seen in quite a while in this race. Time to go.
Like I say, I really believe that this 48's better than the 2. I just don't know that he can make the pass because I don't know that it's really probably going to take a mistake by Keselowski for that to happen.
And if they get side by side, can Biffle close in quickly and make it a 3-way race?
Yeah, absolutely. And is Johnson going to have to get right to the bumper to really loosen Keselowski up to make that mistake?
Just sneaks the left headlight out to 1 and 2 here.
Oh, there's
the move. He's not going to give it up easily, though.
I don't think he can do anything about it now.
Surely you're 48. All right, baby, let's air that thing out. Don't look back.
Joey Logano had a big lead before the caution, got out to a quick lead after the restart, but now he's got company. Casey Kane in the 5 going after the race lead.
He wasted no time driving up to the back bumper of Logano. See what his plans are now.
He's able to make that pass on Burton for second on the outside. I'm sure Logano's going to give it up on the outside.
When he first caught Logano, he tried to kind of squeeze between Logano and the wall, but Logano didn't give him enough room. So now he's pretty much said if he's going to make this pass, he's going to have to be on the bottom.
Logano's done a lot of leading, Dave, but he's got some company now.
Ask crew chief Jason Ratcliffe what yesterday's win did for him. He said it allows Joey right from the start to know where he wants to run and how hard to push it. You see him using the line he wants to keep Kane behind him. By the way, Jason also told me I'm a big fan of nationwide racing. It gives my driver a lot of confidence, too.
Joey Logano's done a lot of winning in the NASCAR Nationwide Series this year.
All right, left a little too much room right there for Casey Kane on the exit. He's been driving kind of downhill off the corner, getting a good run. But Kane took advantage and now's got the lead.
New leader, the 5.
They made some nice adjustments as he battles for the lead now.
And there he goes. Smoke is going to be able to hold it.
Well, he got to the line that he wanted to, so see how far Kenseth drives it in here. He couldn't get his slide job to work quite as good. It's a lot of contact.
Oh, no. There they go.
Wow. That didn't work out for either one of them.
And what a fight for the lead. Truex, 56. Back into his car, wiggling and wobbling, but he stayed in the gas.
Yeah, you know, the last time that we saw Greg Biffle out front, he held up a lot of cars. This car's not that good. Biffle's doing a great job of driving it, but he's really got him jammed up.
Championship leader after winning last Sunday at Michigan, his second victory of the season.
Three wide. Holy. Yeah. getting tight up front.
Truex faster, obviously, than the man he's trying to pass. But Tony Stewart and Matt Kenseth provided the lesson that there's still a lot of racing to go, and you can lose a chance to win really quickly here.
And watching Truex tonight, I haven't seen him really be able to make that pass going below. Let's see if he's able, if he's got his car good enough now to make that happen.
Kyle Busch having to give up that inside line, falls back to fourth. Denny Hamlin with a bin for second, down low.
Now we've seen him be able to make passes on the bottom. Not this time.
Greg Biffle using every available inch of the racetrack, all the way up to that outside wall.
I'm telling you, he's doing a terrific job driving this race car. And nothing against him, but that's not the best car here. He slips now, though.
Used too many inches there. New leader, Martin Truex Jr. And Vickers again dogging Carl Edwards, trying to find a way to get by for the race lead. He got an opening here.
We made a great move there, ran in hard. Now can he slide?
He got it. No. Oh. He almost had it.
Oh, look out! Vickers in trouble! Nice save! Wow!
He was trying to stay off of Carl Edwards. He was right there on the bumper.
That was awful safe. Settle in.
From racing for the lead, back to fifth. Chance to win, maybe gone. Very nice. And Hamlin now with a big run at Edwards. He'd been a couple of car lengths off him. Car slipping way wide in the middle of the corners the last few laps.
I think Denny actually might have seen the 48 coming in his back bumper, trying to make this pass maybe before Jimmy Johnson gets to him. So just in case he isn't able to complete it, he's not going to lose that second spot again.
There's a nearly 90-lap difference in the pit stop schedules of these two cars.
Now, this has just been a really, really good tire that Goodyear brought here. It's allowing these cars to still run these type of speeds with that many laps on them. Hamlin's up there trying to loosen him up without hitting him, but he may have to use him up a little bit to make this pass.
There it is. Now, can he put the slide job on him? And Carl with the crossover.
Carl's going to be able to put the slide job on. He's going to have to, or rub it. Here comes Johnson, maybe 3 wide before this is over.
Hamlin to the lead.
Wild card hunt with that win at Watkins Glen. So tonight is all about getting a win.
Edwards and Hornish, 99-22. Montoya on 42 is on fresh tires, so he should be a handful around these guys for a minute. Looking for a way through.
Well, you can just see Carl Edwards sawing the wheel coming off the corner.
Yeah, off the corner, even when he got on the flat of the straightaway, still having to make an adjustment.
Don't you love that? Running all over the racetrack. Bottom, top, middle. Anywhere you can find some grip for your race car.
Mark Martin has been happy with the balance of this car. They're going to take 4 tires. He's made 51 starts here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. Started this race 6th after really struggling in practice. 4 tires for the 55.
Jeff Burton on pit road now looking for a 4-tire change, also an air pressure adjustment and a chassis adjustment as well. They're going to try to tighten him up just a little bit. Meanwhile, Tony Stewart.
Truex picked up a spot, and here's Kyle Busch working for 9th place on Kevin Harvick.
We talk about how good his teammate Denny Hamlin is at this racetrack, but there's really nobody that's been better as far as an average finish than Kyle Busch. 4.7 at this racetrack in his races. And Jeff Gordon can't see that competition yelling, come quick enough. He needs to do some work on that 24 car if he's going to try to win.
Just gave up 5th place. Early update on Jeff Gordon from Vince.
Well, you talk about the thought that this track would have grip in it early on, but Gordon has none of it. He is way too loose on entry and exit and a little too tight in the center. Crew Chief Alan Gustafson says they'll get him fixed up at the first stop.
So remember, if none of the one-win drivers wins the race, then that last wild card spot could come down to points. And Kyle Busch had a lead on Jeff Gordon starting the night. Jeff would have to outrun Kyle under those circumstances by 13 positions on the track, basically. And right now, Gordon's going backwards, and Kyle is moving forward toward him.
Hey, Harvick's giving him a fit right now, though. He's trying to get that upper lane working.
I've been trying to watch some other cars and see if they could make this second lane work. We didn't really see it happen where you could carry any speed last night in the nationwide race. Kevin Harvick has not given up here on the high side. And I think with the more horsepower these cars have, that it's going to be a lane that's going to be needed before this night's over.
Role was kind of reversed last night. Ricky Stenhouse was running that high lane like that, and Harvick had to work many, many laps on the bottom to try to get by him. Maybe that's when Harvick realized there was some grip up there. That'll be frustrating, though, to be the guy on the inside and can't, you know, you got a little bit better car.
Yeah,
not be able to make it.
Yeah, but you have to be careful, especially the entries to these corners, both getting down into turn 1, the high-speed part of this racetrack, and down into 3. These cars will get extremely loose because you are having speeds up over 140 miles per hour.
Tony Stewart says this Richmond layout is the perfect layout for Sprint Cup cars. Designed and built by the legendary track promoter Paul Sawyer between a race in the spring of 1988 and the September of 1988 race weekend. They knocked down the old Fairgrounds half mile, built this 3/4 mile layout that's going to hit with the drivers and the fans right from that very first race.
Absolutely. I could agree with Tony more as you see Kyle Busch finally able to make this pass.
10-4, bud. I wasn't blind now. I was just doing it for my documents, but we'll get off the ECU. Keep digging, man.
Well, for Kyle Busch, another day with a great race car that he's not going to have much to show for it at the end.
Yeah, he did have a fast race car, and it's just so unfortunate if they do indeed have a problem here.
Yeah, you watch it, you can see right there. I mean, it looked decent down the straightaway. I'm not sure they're down complete cylinder there. I'm not saying there's anything wrong.
Yes.
It just hasn't manifested itself enough to where it's visible.
But you know, a lot of times at a place like this, as you start slowing down, you're losing, it hasn't had tires on for a while, yet you start to think that there is something wrong there. But going through the corner, still pretty sporty right here. I mean, he's able to keep the RPMs up there, son, and keeping Kevin Harvick behind him right now. Whoa. That makes him drive bad down the straightaway, too.
Yeah, it does, but I watched right there, and it looked to me like the car was pulling fine down the straightaway. But I'll tell you what, when a driver says that there's something wrong with the engine.
Harvick and Kyle Busch here for 7th and 8th places.
Like Brad's kind of liking this battle. He was able to close in on both of these cars, and I think he's got the fastest car of these three.
Championship leaders starting today. And a caution flag. Dale Earnhardt Jr. we saw drive through his pit when the caution came out, and Dave, that's left him back a lap down in 11th.
Yeah, that's what confused his situation as you were trying to score for Junior at home. He was almost in. They said, no, keep going. And he did not pit the first time through. Pitted with the lap down cars, made a wedge adjustment. On the first green flag run, his car mostly late in the corner as he exited it. The car was too free, so they've made an adjustment for that.
Junior's in a pretty good position, though. He's faster than Newman. He needs to pass him, and he's got to pass that one car also.
Jamie McMurray in 9th place, being the first car 1 lap down and in position for the free pass. He's a couple ahead of
gotta go. Sorry.
Wow. So it was a 5-second lead from Keselowski to Jimmy Johnson. And as you said before, on those fresher tires.
Yep, here comes Jimmy on his fresh tires. make this pass easy.
Yeah, I thought it would take quite a bit longer than that for him to catch up, but he's been knocking off some really fast laps. That's his 48 car. And he has to do this because the worst things happen, as Alan just pointed out, Brad Keselowski's led the most laps. These guys trying to run him down the points can't have that.
Remember that in NASCAR, a driver that leads a lap, any lap during the race, gets 1 bonus point toward the championship, and the driver that leads the most laps in a race gets a bonus point toward the championship. And last year, when we got down to the final lap of the final race of the season, 2 drivers were tied with points. So every single one of those bonus points, these drivers all know they've got to go get. Got a fast race car.
That always makes it a little easier. You can see the 48 slip a little bit, gets in a little bit hot. Boyer sees an opening, can't quite take advantage yet.
Yeah, I was thinking when we were riding on board Clint Boyer there a couple laps ago, and you go into the corner and you see that car come up off the bottom of the track, and that's got to be just, what's the old saying, throwing the bone to the dog? Just make you drool a little bit to jump in there and find a way to get inside, but then you don't want to turn them around either at this point in the race.
No, you don't. You have to be careful. And that rubber buildup is what Jimmy Johnson, I believe, has moved up the track a little bit, partly because of that, especially down in turns 3 and 4. I'd watched him before Clint Boyer got to him, and he looked like he was having to adjust his line because it was right where his right side tires were at that time.
Really, really small point, but the 2 getting a bonus point for leading a lap?
Yeah. Might not be so small at the end of the season. Yeah, we saw what happened last year, didn't we?
Yeah. Johnson looking inside. The bump.
Pushing him.
The nudge. I'm here. I want through.
Jimmy'd like to make that happen before Kyle Busch can get to his bumper. Maybe make something happen there. He's there.
Keselowski gives him room.
Gives him room, but not giving up.
Johnson to the lead. 14 laps to go. Now will that inside lane just be all freight training underneath Keselowski? Or can he find his place to get back down in line? Kyle Busch through the second. Casey Kane works on him for third. Thinking, wasn't it the New Hampshire race when Kyle had such a strong race car and ran up front and contended for the win and had the problems under the hood eventually that cost him a chance at taking home a trophy? As Keselowski's looking. Whoa, that was close.
Well, Keselowski just got a good run off turn 2. Really closed the gap on Kyle Busch.
Can he make it stick and grab the race lead?
It'll be tough from that position right there. He's really been good down at 1 going on the bottom. Being able to let the car roll through there, he might be able to make another run at him as they exit turn 2.
Not quite as close that time. And looking at the gap, back to Jimmy Johnson in third. Keselowski a solid second, though, for the moment, Jamie.
Well, the performance today, Alan, certainly doesn't look like a guy who's finished 14th or worse all 8 of his races here. They've been adjusting on this car today, track bar only, but this last round, no changes at all. That's how good the car is, and it's continuing to get better as the sun goes down.
We've heard it several times today, Jamie. Keeping up with the conditions. Keeping up with the track as it goes through these transitions into sunset. All right, let's try the outside.
Now that would be a spot that he can make this run happen right here. That's exactly what he's doing. We kind of set him up on that. He'd been down on the bottom and went in there. He's a smart young man behind the wheel of this new car.
Now the big run off the top of turn 4. And to the race lead, Brad Keselowski.
Points lead right now by making this pass and going to the front.
And you're right, Alan. They're actually, both these teams are doing what they have to do. Keselowski obviously doing it, but Jimmy Johnson's car is good. He's made a lot of passes, and he's up there in the top 10, so he's doing what he needs to do also.
Big picture story on the day of the race. Kyle Busch has had a dominant car, but a couple of times when we've gotten into a long green flag run, at the end of that long run, his car has fallen off and faded. Well, he might just be fading enough to give up the lead right here.
Well, one thing's happening now. You saw Dale Jr. just pitted with 85 to go. If they want to split this up from the last time they pitted, they'd have to go about 72 laps in each segment to make it on one more stop. So we'll see if these cars can do it. What's the 48 team doing here, Dave?
And you saw the change in position on the left side of the screen there. Casey Kane going around the 48. He had actually given the position to Jimmy a few laps ago for Jimmy to see what he could do if he wasn't fighting with the 5 car. But Jimmy couldn't go anywhere, and Chad said on the radio, well, I guess we got to give that back. And they just did.
All right. Yeah, I think that's kind of a tale of what's happening right now. We've got one here in Brad Keselowski moving forward, looking to win the race, and Jimmy struggling to keep a position there and not lose any more points than what he possibly can today, knowing that this too is so good.
Keselowski's made up almost 3 seconds, or actually more than that, since he got back out on the racetrack and he's now running down. I'm surprised that Kyle hadn't kind of let him go here. Kyle raced him hard.
Not had some history. I don't think Kyle's going to make it easy on him, whatever he's racing for. He's certainly not going to put either one of them in a bad position because they both have a chance to win here.
Now they're coming up on some lap traffic. Bobby Labarney, 47. Danica Patrick, 10. Just ahead of his fight for the race lead. Kyle Busch hanging on to the lead, Doc.
Yeah, car getting a little bit tight, Alan. He's been told, though, to save that right front tire. Carlson, I'm trying my darndest to save the right front so we can change two in that final stop. But once again, here's the challenge from Brad Kay.
Big picture here. I'll be a good boy.
Yeah, he wants that lead pretty bad, but he's not going to take an undue chance here to try to take it. He's going to take it when the opportunity's there. Looks like it might be now.
Yeah, and I believe if these teams and drivers have to make a green flag pit stop, more than likely they're looking at 4 tires here instead of the 2. They were thinking of strategy under a caution situation.
Yeah, I think a lot of them were planning on maybe seeing a caution before now and trying to get to, if that happens, if it goes the full cycle, which we're just about there, I expect every one of these teams to change 4 tires under green because they'll have to take 2 cans of fuel to make it to the end. So that's what I expect to see here.
It's going to get him here.
Yeah, he's going to have him here.
Well, Kyle held on as long as he could, a car that's gotten a little bit tight.
Separate yourself, be protective, still out.
79 laps to go. Brad Keselowski to the race lead.
On those restarts.
Casey Kane going to try and get the lead back from Kyle Busch in the 5.
Wow, Casey drove it into 3.
Can he make it stick? Slides up in front of Kyle, but will Kyle have the run off the turn?
Oh, yeah. He wouldn't have won if that had been the last lap, but it'd have been close.
Yep.
Kyle with the slide job this time. Here comes Casey Kane back to the inside.
Good stuff.
Whoa, hang on to that 5. Yeah, you can see Casey having to chase the car around quite a bit. He's able to stay up beside the 18, though. I was wondering what 2 tires versus 4 tires would do, and right here's the example with the 5, with the 2 tires a couple of cautions ago. The 18 put on 4 that time. As this racetrack's cooled off, that might be a pretty good move. If you have a good race car.
Yeah, looked like Casey just couldn't make that bottom lane work. So Kyle Busch hangs on to the lead.